Well, Corsair Awakening is out, and I'm gonna be doing a little review on its PvE here, going through a rotation, trying to help you guys out. I'm gonna go through my add-ons a little bit. I've gone through a couple loot scrolls to kind of figure out what I'm doing here and whatnot. Now, I've played a lot of classes. I main Suck DK, I've played Maywa. The most important thing to me in a class is having fun, and I have fun on this class. Now, as far as her PvE goes, my bulls are going to be kind of scuffed here because I'm trying to do this. But anyways, as far as her PvE goes, it feels pretty good. Probably about average, honestly. Nothing too special. She has some problems here, and I'll discuss those. But I'll use the set of the names of the moves, since she's pretty new and a lot of people aren't familiar with her. I'll use the names or the inputs to use for the PvE rotation. So, kind of what I've been doing. Then let me know what you've been doing if you found something more effective. But basically, what I've been doing here is, we'll start in the next pool. So, what we're doing is, down L1, down R2, into, L2 circle, X, L2 L1, L2 R2, X, then we'll go back to reapply our buffs with down R1, down R2, into down square, L2 square. That clears the mobs right there, and then we move on to the next attack. Pretty simple. So, down L1, down R2 right here, into our little anchor drop, the L2 circle, L2 L1, L2 R1, X, reapply, which the down R1, R2s, into our little mermaid skills here, boom, attack cleared. Alright, so, you might say, you know, I'm clearing decently. I'm only 256 awakening, I'm not 261 because I main Succession DK, so I only have a Tet Dandy and a Pinzarka on this class right now, but I tagged it, and here's where my pulls are going to get scuffed as I talk about it. So, I'm in Octane right now, so it's pretty easy clear. I think she's going to do better in history, because as you can see, she kind of knocks the mobs or pushes the mobs a lot with the combos. The pulls aren't that great, but it doesn't really matter here. If you have the gear for it, you're going to clear anyway, so Octane history or whatever portal, wherever you prefer to grind, is fine. I think she'll do well at these spots. I also think she'll do alright at areas like Start and End, but I don't think she's going to do that well in areas like the Crya and whatnot, and the reason being is, if you look at the damage I'm doing here, most of my damage is off the little anchor drop, which is like a 14 or 15 second cooldown, and you just don't do enough with the other skills, like you see this but down R1 and down R2s, they don't do a whole lot of damage right there, you can see. None of these do. And then your L2, R2 actually is on a pretty low cooldown right there, but it doesn't do a whole lot of damage to it. It has decent AoE, right? But your bread and butter when you're clearing mobs is right here. A little anchor drop, and you see there another problem is if you don't have crit buffs going, well, I haven't had a frenzy drive going, but if you don't have crit buffs going, all of her skills are pretty much 50% crit rate, which you can work around, right? Like I think it's 5% for everything you have in your level, but you see right here I'll do a lot more damage with my anchor because I have a crit buff going. Anyways, so if it's 50% and you have 5 crit with the, I'm using spirit perfumes to get my crit, right? And I'm not really trying to pull right here. Don't worry about it, I'm just talking. The clear's not awful down here. Akhman's a pretty easy zone these days on console. Like, it's nothing too special. But you only have 50% crit. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But it's forcing you into using these perfumes, right? To get your 5 crit. So that brings you up to 75%. And then I have a crit add-on. You can see if you look at my buffers on the bottom right, I have no buffs going. Like the down R2, I have a crit modifier right there. It only lasts for 5 seconds, but that's why we immediately go into our anchor drop right there. And then go into this, and then boom, you know, like, and then we try to reapply those again before we go into these mermaid skills. So there's ways around that. Like, that's not a huge deal. You're kind of locked into using perfumes, like I said. You don't have to if you want to take a little lower clearing speed, but whatever. It is nice though, because on DK, you're very you're resource starved, right? Like, you don't have heals, you don't have anything. You have just enough heals right here. I feel comfortable even just picking the class up right now, grinding without potions, so that's nice. But her big problem is the skills that are on low cooldowns just don't do enough. Like my little L2 square, look at this damage. It's not that great. In PvP, that's a different story. I mean, I don't think we really have enough data on PvP since the class just came out, you know, to give a proper review on that. She'll get some buffs. I will have a separate video for that. I've done a little bit of 1v1s and everything, so I have an idea of what I'm doing there. But like I said, you just don't do it. And then like all of her other skills, like you would use an awakening for filler skills, that's why I'm using these mermaid skills, are just very narrow. Like your L2, L1, which you use as a filler, is very narrow and just doesn't do enough. Look, that damage is not that great. I'm an Akhman. I know I'm only 256 using Kudum, but that's just not that great of damage. You're very reliant on your little anchor drop to do your damage. And so, if you want to maximize your grind, you're probably not staying just in Awakening. You're using some pre-awakened skills, which means you're going to need a lot more skill points on this class than something that can just grind an Awakening, like, you know, Witch, Wizard, something like that. But like I said, it is a fun class to play, and I do enjoy it, and I enjoy it in PvE and in PvP so far. For me personally, I've never really played a class with range. I've always played classes like, I mean, DK had some range before Succession came out, right? So I've played that a lot, but that was mostly just poke damage. You're still, you know, got it. I'm not gonna ramble about that. But anyway, you know, like, areas like this, she's gonna do fine in. I imagine she'll do fine in Star's End. Once I hit that, I'm gonna finish up my adventure logs, because I've been really lazy and haven't done that, so I can give a proper review at Star's End with at least 261, you know. So I play Succession, and I just kind of tagged my hero, so I don't have 261 yet. She'll be fine here. She'll be fine, Hysteria. You'll make good money. I think she's not a bad grinder, that's not what she's not a bad grinder at all. I just think she could use some love on some of her skills, like this L2, L1, just, look, I'm an Akhman, that doesn't do a whole lot, and it's a very narrow, like, line ability. So, maybe some suggestions is her little L2 R2 right here. It does have decent AoE, but if they just gave it a little more PvE damage, that would really help her out, because that's kind of her lowest cooldown skill. There, it's pretty low cooldown. I can use it again right here, so that's not bad. If they just give her a little more like PvE damage on some of those skills, right, that'll go a long way. do a combo. You see how much faster I clear with the anchor though right here? Like, I'm already dead. Boom. But if you don't have the anchor up for like areas like Sakurai, you're gonna be using it. If you're not like super geared, you're gonna be trying to use that skill multiple times on a pack, and you're not gonna like, you're gonna be waiting, like, and then you're gonna be using that skill whenever they're not even at high HP, so you're not getting the most value out of it. I don't think she's bad. I'm not saying she needs a whole lot of love. Just some minor changes on some of her lower cooldown skills in Awakening would go a long way. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. So as far as PvE goes, like, it's not bad. I think with a blue loot scroll, I'm pulling probably 8 or 9k, which is reasonable, but I'd say I've grinded Octane quite a bit, and whenever I'm actually trying, you know, those numbers look really good, and it's kind of misguiding. Aukman's a really easy area, so we'll just go to the merchant here. And the combo I'm using is back L1, back R2, L2 circle, X, L2 R2, back R1, back R2, down square, L2 square, and then quick swap back into Awakening with forward triangle, really, and rinse and repeat from mob to mob. But that's pretty it. She does decent so far from what I can see. Like I said, I haven't tested a lot of areas out. I'll just go to the BA actually, or well, we'll look at the skills real quick, kind of see the add-ons I'm using. I'm not sure what the is of all these. So all the close quarter skills. This is your back R2. I have a crit hit rate plus 20 and attack and casting speed on it plus 7%. That's your R2. And I use that second. You would think you want the attack and cast speed right at the beginning of all your combos, but I use it second because that's whenever I go into my harder hitting skills, and I want that buff to last as long as possible through my hard hitting skills. So that's why you go R1 with down and then R2, this skill, with down. It is unprotected, but you're fine. You only need to hit it once. You don't have to go through all of the hits of its chain. So that's fine. It does decent damage. It's not terrible. It's a stiffness on hits too, so that's also going to help you out in areas where mobs can get stiffed, like Aukman and Hysteria, to keep you from getting CC'd while you're about to go into your combo. So that's really nice. That's really nice. It's a down attack for PvP, whatever. We're not going through that. Anyways, what is this? Not that. Where is her down R1? Here we go. Our down R2. This is what we open up with. I go all evasion right here. I'm not currently using evasion gear because it's just bad on DK, and like I said, I tagged, but pretty sure you want to go evasion on this class. So I start out with this, and I give myself an all evasion rate. It kind of helps out, makes you a little tankier, helps you with your 1v1s if you're going to duel for spot, and it's just the best thing I could see there for this add-on. And crit hit damage for 5 seconds. So this is gonna it's not gonna last through your whole combo, right? And you could weave it back in if you wanted between things. I have not by any means mastered this class, but you know, so you're starting out with this. This is definitely gonna give you the 3% crit hit damage on your anchor drop. Then we go straight into the captain's orders, your little anchor drop, and I give this one. This one has some really nice add-ons. It has all tier 3 add-ons you can use. So I give it the plus 30 AP to monsters, which is gonna get applied on, you know, on the first hit, and minus 20 DP. It's like I said right there. You can see it's only a 50% crit hit rate. That's fine. We have ways to go around that. Other than that, the skill you're using after that gives you crit hit rate plus 20%. So that refreshes it, which is why I'm not weaving the down R2 into my skill rotation. So you refresh right there, and you get some back attack damage. Now with this skill, you can kind of, say you're facing here, and midair, turn around, boom, behind them. Good to go. As far as that goes, and then your little close quarters charge, getting them from mob to mob, refresh your attack speed. I actually might swap this out. I haven't decided. I've been iffy on this. I might put this on a different skill, but attack speed to refresh, critical hit damage to refresh while you're going through your combos. But since I've changed it up, and I was grinding and just awakening, you know, so I might put this on one of my little well skills to refresh it there. See what I have available, which one is better, the back square or the L2 square. But that's preference. That, like I said, I haven't mastered the class. This is just what I've been doing. But other than that, that's pretty it. Just a quick thing to help people out. I don't want to make it too long. Is there anything I'm missing? Not really. I mean, that's pretty much it for... Yeah, or I could put that on, say, my L2, R2. Depending on which skills have the better tiered add-ons. That's probably the play, really. The Wind Piercer, Petrarca, the L2, R2. It's just maybe the only thing I would swap is the skill add-on. The attack speed and crit damage to refresh onto that, but pretty much, like I said, you're doing your L1 down, or R1 down, R2 down. You drop your little anchor. You want to hit X in between this to get the most damage. It's a little flow. You're going behind them like this. Boom. 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 If you have more AP than me, you're not going to need to go into these well skills, and you can really just do the combo from there. But that's where it gets more tricky even. Like, a lot of people are just talking about the problem I was talking about, where this anchor drop is just on hefty cooldown. Her pre-awaken skills do enough damage and everything. I'm 261 in or 263 in pre-awakening with the Penzarka. My stats aren't anything special. I am using Frenzy Draughts. I don't think you need the damage reduction from Beast Draughts. Just get comfortable grinding on it. Maybe do an hour with those and then swap to these. You'll actually be a lot more survivable with these. The health recovery you get from these offsets the minus 15 DP. I'm using these Spirit Perfumes. And then that brings me to my, 5 crit right there. That's it though. As far as what skills you want to unlock, just get everything in her awakening for PvP, and then max out the 2 well skills right here. As far as bombs go, I'm more PvP centered on those, so take what you want there and play around with it. I'm not really using them in PvE anyways, so you don't have to worry about that. It's pretty easy to get enough skill points to be able to grind Ackman or History efficiently on her. I'll probably do History and Stars In later today, but I hope that helped. And I'll try to leave the skill rotation in the description. Appreciate you watching, and let me know how you're liking Corsair, guys.